Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Today I have Design Suite member Wendy Bertagnolli on. I'm so excited to dig into her story with you. And for some of you, I hope this really resonates and you kind of see why Wendy decided to do the things she's doing. And then we're excited to talk about, what she's really accomplished as well. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So let's just start with before you joined Design Suite, what were you feeling and what were you looking for?
So I have had several stores of my own. I was a photographer for 10 years. And then when 2020 hit, that kind of put that out of business. And so I had some Etsy stores and things like that before. I just have the entrepreneurial spirit. So I've just always tried to start my own thing, but I would get stuck. I would have some sales and then, of course it would take money to get started. And I would kind of get stuck and just think, oh, I'm not on the right track. I'm not doing the right thing. And so I would give up. And so I was looking for someone to teach me. I was looking for a mentor really when I found your program and just looking for something to someone to be accountable to. So that was the main thing that attracted me to the Design Suite program is just the courses. I wanted to learn everything I could learn. And then the mentorship, I was really excited about that.
That's amazing. I should ask this because I actually don't know. Did we fulfill those things for you?
Yeah, it's been above and beyond my expectations. It was an expensive decision to make, but I have no regrets. I feel like it was the best decision that I could have made for going forward in a design career, which is what I wanted to do. So
yeah, I actually love that you said that it was an expensive decision to make. I think sometimes people are kind of shy away from the money part, but to me, it's listen, it's just not like a throwaway decision. If you're going to do something, you're going to go all the way in it. And so it should be expensive because it means you'll actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, because I was so invested in wanting to learn how to do what I'd always been trying to do, it just was attractive to me. And there were so many things involved with it, the community, the courses, the mentoring, just so much included that I knew it was worth the price that I was going to pay. It was just talking my husband into it.
That's always the part, right?
Yeah, getting him on board. And, we had said for years, because I would jump from one thing to the next thinking, okay, this is going to work. This is going to work. This is going to work. And I said, I just need somebody to show me how. I need somebody to lead me. And so I think that's what I found in this program. It's been so great.
Yeah. And I just think about the years wasted. If you had spent all of those years, just actually doing the thing that we tell you to do in our program, how far along you'd be now.
Oh, I know. It's unbelievable. I mean, just the progress that I've made it's not even 6 months yet, I think, since I've been in. And it's amazing to me how much I've learned and grown and succeeded in,
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you don't just have one shop, you have 3. Is that correct?
I actually have 4, which is
like a secret 4th one.
Yeah, it's my MO, which I just get attracted to everything design because there's so much that I want to do. And so I do have a little bit of a problem focusing on one thing, which I'm working on. But yeah, I have 3 Etsy stores and then Raspberry Creek fabric.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I remember you getting on. So we have a Marco Polo feed for our members and you got on a month ago, maybe it's been 6 weeks ago. And you came on and you said, I can't even remember how many you said you had sold that month I don't even know, but I remember just being blown away because you were just just do what Carina says, because it was the best you had done so far. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing to me how quickly things were falling into place. And I had had sales before, of course, in my Etsy store before, but it was taking so much time and money, and it was really hard, really difficult. And this just seemed like I was on the right path. I was doing the right things. And in fact, we had the mentor meeting this week with you, and you had made some suggestions on my website, which I did on my main Etsy store, and had 2 sales within a couple of hours.
Shut up. That was yesterday. That's it. Or no, yesterday. 2 days ago. So I told you to switch something yesterday, and you just you got 2 sales just for making those switches.
Yes. Yes. So I mean, what you tell us to do works. I just will preach that from the rooftops, because I've tried to do everything that you've said and it's working.
Yeah. So. Which is crazy, because we're in the low season. That's the insane thing. Because I always tell everyone, you're not going to make any money in June and July. Like, don't worry. And then, but you just said, like, you switched 2 things and you made 2 sales, like, quickly.
Yeah. And I'm getting consistent sales, which I'm really excited about. They're pretty consistent each week. But to have 2 sales that quickly, I was just like, oh, that's definitely from the changes that we talked about.
Yeah, so, that's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so where are you at? You haven't hit 6 months yet. Are you willing to share some numbers? Like, where are you sell-wise? Like, when did you get your first sell in your shop? How many of these shops did you open when you joined my program? I should ask that first.
So the one shop I had open, but I was selling different products in it, which were physical products. So I started selling the instant downloads in that same store. And within 3 weeks, I had my first sell, which I was not expecting, because everybody says it takes 3 months, for your algorithm.
Well, we tell everybody that too. We're like, it'll take you 3 months. But I mean, Wendy's here to prove to you. And we've actually had plenty of other designers, like 3 weeks later, the SEO catches up, the algorithm catches up, and you got your first sell.
Yeah. And in fact, I think it was my second store that I started, I got a sell within a week. So that was exciting. So in total now I think I just went over the top this week with 100 sales. So I'm just over 100.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
So, it's really amazing. I just did not expect that. So it's really exciting.
What I think is so fun is because you came in December. Is that when you came in?
Or like 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah. So to me, I look at this, and she's come in basically what we consider the first low season of the year, is the first 6 months of the year. And then kind of going. So it gets me really excited. You and several others that I've been seeing make sales very consistent, like very easily working the algorithm to your favor. I can't wait to see what fall does for you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited for fall too. And I also think about, there's so many little changes that I haven't had a chance to really dig into, like keywording and stuff like that I'm thinking, I probably could even make more sales if I just really dug into that some more. I just am spending so much time designing and having so much fun with that I just haven't really dug into that part of it. But at least what I'm doing is working. So
there's a time and a place. You and I both know that, because I really push you guys becoming great designers, because the keyword stuff will come, right, even more as we're kind of working through it. Okay, tell me, like, what has been the hardest thing in Design Suite as you've been kind of like designing and getting, it sounds like you've had a ton of success pretty quick. So it kept you excited and motivated, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it did keep me excited and motivated. Definitely my hardest part is staying focused on staying in my lane, staying in one store. And so I've kind of built up the 3 other stores enough that I feel like it's okay for them to sit. They have quite a few products in there. And so I'm just trying to mainly focus on this one for the fall, because I just want this one to really take off in the fall.
And why do you think focus? Sorry, I cut you off. But like, why do you think the focus is the hard thing?
It's always been hard for me. I just think because I'm an artist or designer or, in photography, it just all of those things attract me. And so when I see somebody doing cute designs in fabric or cute designs in repeat patterns or SVGs or just other things, it's like, oh, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. And so it just makes me want to try, which I think is a good thing. It's a positive thing to want to try new things. But I think that's always been my problem in the past is staying in one place long enough to have the success. And so I think that with this program, you say over and over and over again, stay in your lane, follow the money. And so I'm just really trying to, I have this little plaque that I made for myself that says focus that sits in front of my desk. So I have to remind myself all the time to focus.
It's almost like the opposite of what a designer or an artist's intuition is, right? Because we feel like we have to innovate all the time and we have to be creative all the time. And so it's almost literally the opposite of like what our inner instinct feels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So interesting.
Yeah. 100%.
I agree with you. I actually think that is the hardest thing about my program is the fact that you will like, especially I was thinking about mentor meeting, you like have someone come on and they're doing this thing and you're like, oh, I want to do that. Or somebody else gets on and they're like doing sublimation. Someone else comes on, they're doing clip art. And then you start hearing all the strategies around those things. And you're like, I want to do that too.
Yes, that is exactly 100% correct. And I love that part of it. I love seeing other designers and what they're doing. And it's really, it is inspiring, really inspiring to watch just progress in all of us to see, you know, because there were people that started in January or right around the same time I did. And just seeing the progress between us all it's just exciting to me to watch and be a part of.
It is astounding how good you guys have gotten. We had a meeting with our coaches and talked about it. And I think everyone was blown away by what was brought to that particular meeting. And we went over by 45 minutes, but it was just because it was like a wow, like this is what you guys are doing. It's been super impressive. I wish I could say it was all me, but it's just not. It's really, you guys inspire each other. And then the effects of that and what you guys are doing, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I think it's a testament though to the program that you've put together, that how you've structured it with the coach, with having extra coaches, with having the community, with having all of the courses. So if you ever have a question, you can go look it up in a course. And I think that just says that the program that you've designed is built for success, which I love.
That's what we hope for. We want every single person successful. So I love it. And I love that you're proving it, like that you're proving it in a down period. That gets me even more excited, like that you're proving it, that it works all the way around the year. What's been your favorite part of Design Suite?
Oh my goodness. It's hard to choose. There's so many good things about the program, but I would have to say I've mentioned some of the other things, the courses and the community and the coaches and all of that, but definitely the mentor meetings are my very favorite. And I know they sometimes can go long because we have a lot of members, but I love that day of the month is my favorite. Just seeing all the growth and getting to participate in that. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite too.
And learn from you, of course.
You're so nice. Yeah, I love those days. I usually do have to I block off extra time before and after to look at everybody's stuff, but it is really fun to dig into people's stuff because sometimes it's a little bit of business and sometimes it's a little bit of design. And I think that marriage is what's building you guys forward, because if I were just teaching you design, I would just say one thing and be like, okay, we're gone, we're good. But it's amazing to me that if I'm the reason we do this is because this is the effect of it. People are like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm going to design that a little bit differently.
Yeah. And it just clicks. Yeah. They're amazing. They're my favorite part. And I love that you learn as, in fact, I was thinking, I take notes of all what you say with I take pictures of the person's work so I can compare the notes and go, okay, they had that question And that's what I need to do to fix this problem. So
that is so funny that you do that. I love that. I mean, it's like you're in school, which we do say this is a master's degree program. Like you are not messing around. We are very serious about why we're doing what we're doing. And we really want you making money. Okay. Tell me this. I would love to know, and will you explain to everybody what you brought to mentor meeting this last time? I would love to hear your biggest takeaway about your own design work.
Okay, so I brought some new stuff that I've been working on. It's actually AI, which is artificial intelligence. It's kind of a new thing that is out, and something that I've been wanting to try. My husband's been kind of pushing me towards it because he's in sort of a design industry. He does videography and commercial type stuff, but he was wanting me to learn. And so I just thought, well, why not? I'll just try it. And I was so surprised at what I could do with the skills that I've already learned from your program and just, from designing this year. And so I brought some of that stuff to the meeting. And so we talked a little bit about that and how I could improve it. And then you looked at my Etsy store. And like I said earlier, you told me a couple of things that needed to be changed that could improve it, and made those changes the next day and had sales within a couple of hours. So
amazing.
That was fun.
What I love is that you brought me both AI stuff. And by the way, you guys, like everyone's freaking out about AI. Our program, people are not going to be left alone. We're actually even talking about doing an inside design suite conference that's just AI in October. And it's because we're going to make sure we're using it in a way that's smart. And Wendy's been playing with it. It's been super fun to watch her kind of working around it. But what I think was cool is you didn't just bring AI stuff. You brought an AI thing, and then you brought a bunch of hand-drawn stuff that you were also building into seamless patterns. I thought that was really lovely because I do think people tend to rely on one or the other too much, right? Where they're either way leaning into AI or they're way leaning into their own stuff. And I actually think it's the people who mix the two and figure out how to use it in smart ways. Those are the ones who are really going to succeed.
Yeah, and that's actually what I've been working on, because one of the reasons I got into the program too is because I had just picked up watercolor and started drawing again, and I wanted to improve my artistic ability. And so I don't want to lean on AI because I'm still wanting to learn and grow as an artist in my mobility and physical skills. And so I've really been trying to, a lot of them, I get an image that is almost how I want it to be, and then I will redraw it how I want it to be. So it's been fun. It's been fun to learn something that is cutting edge, that is just coming out and not a whole lot of people know about it. That's been fun, but also just to take the skills that I've learned and implement them with what I'm learning. So
yeah, I love that. It was, so I saw Wendy in real life a couple of weeks ago. She was in Utah, and it was fun talking to her about AI and how she was using it. I use it for other different things, but I haven't used it a lot in my design work, more with copy and things I feel not as strong in. And what I found fascinating is that it really is going to be the wave of the future, and the people who do not know how to use it correctly and that don't have great design skills, because that's the other thing. Like you can throw something together on that, but like if you don't have great design skills and have a good eye and understand why you're doing what you're doing, it will really work against you because everybody else has access as well, right? So it's like you've got to have a really strong skill set in order to make it work for platforms, customers, business, sales, right? To make it really work.
Right. That is so true. My husband, I was saying, he uses it for his business, and he got so excited about some of the things that he was making for his business. He said, I want you to open up an Etsy store for me so I can sell digital downloads. So we've been kind of working on that a little bit. But yeah, because he doesn't know he doesn't have the skills to open a store. He doesn't understand that part of it. And so that's been kind of fun to be able to teach him something for a while.
That's really fun. You probably justified really quick, like what you could really do by coming into the program.
Yeah. And I think we talked about that a little bit, but I think because the program is expensive, I find myself thinking, I just want to get every drop out of it that I can get out of it because I paid a lot for it and I don't want it to go to waste. And so, yeah.
That is the attitude I love for people to have. You know, we are so different than a lot of like digital courses or programs out there where like you start it and like you're kind of left alone and you're kind of like, good luck, you know, like I hope that it works out for you. Or maybe you have a tiny bit of support, but like they actually know that most of their members will not do the thing that they're teaching. We almost have the opposite where we're kind of a little kooky, where we're like, okay, every single person has to make it. You know, we kind of get a little intense about it. And when we don't hear from someone, I don't know if you know this, Wendy, but we track everybody. So we have tracking on everyone. And so if we haven't heard from someone for a month, there's like an email, like someone's reaching out and being like, where are you? What are you doing? Are you making sales? Because we want to make sure you get your investment back.
Yeah. And I think that shows in all of the new programs that you're implementing along the way as you're learning what works and what doesn't work. And I think that's been fun for me too, because I know your program is 2 years old. Is that right?
2 years old and ever evolving.
Yeah. And that's what I love. Being a part of that growth has just been exciting to me. And like you said, I've done like Skillshare classes and things like that before, which are great. And I love them. And I think they're definitely an enhancement, I guess. Is that the right word?
Yeah. I love
to what I'm doing.
I think Skillshare classes, we send people all the time to Skillshare classes because they're great. They're
good classes.
Really good basic skills.
Yeah. But like you said, they don't have your accountability is not there. You can do the whole course or you can stop after 1 or 2 lessons, you know?
Yeah.
And so I love the accountability part of it. So
thanks. Yeah. I love it too. And the other crazy thing we're doing, and I don't know if you knew this, Wendy, but like 2024, we have a reboot on most of the classes. So that means we update it with all the new software and all of our designers get lifetime access. And everyone keeps telling me I'm kooky for doing that, but I literally do it because even if you leave my program, I want to make sure that you're getting the most up-to-date information about what I'm seeing in masters in fabric lines and what I'm seeing in silhouette files. And it's just a way for us to keep our designers still at the top.
Yeah. And that was actually one of the things that attracted me to the program too, is just knowing that at least I have the courses. If I can't continue on with the program, that I still have the courses for life. So that was really appealing to me as well.
Yeah. So fun. Wendy, any last words for anyone who is thinking about coming into a program like ours? Because we do filter people. I know that sounds really funny that we do that for a program, but we do have some mechanisms of ways of figuring out if people are a great fit for our program. But if someone's thinking about it, what would you say to them?
Well, it's funny because I remember sending an Instagram message, I think is where I got the ad, and sending an Instagram message and saying some pretty straightforward things like, I don't want to just waste my money. Like, is this for real? And it was obvious from the first couple messages that I got back pretty quickly that this is the real thing. And I would just say, if you are on the fence, do it. Like it has changed everything about the way that I design, the way I do business, the way that I live my life. Really, it's changed so many things in my life, and I'm just so grateful for it. So I would just say, go for it. Jump.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. I love hearing that. If no one else out there heard that, like, that's so great for me because, you know, so often I'm like thinking about, like I was thinking today, how I wish I was designing a new fabric line, you know, like I want to be working on a fabric line because the thing I teach everybody, I also love to do. Right. But when I hear about the successes you guys are having and what you're doing with it, like that gets me way more excited than designing a new fabric line. Like I'm kind of like, yes, like this is why we do what we do. If they want to see what you're up to, Wendy, can you just throw out a few places they could come check you out?
So I am on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram. I actually have a podcast that has sat now for 6 months because I've been doing this. but it's all under Wendy Bertagnolli, and that's just spelled Bertagnolli with a G. So it's kind of hard to spell, but I have a link tree that I think we're going to post to it that will take you anywhere to see where I'm at.
Check out the description in the show notes. We're going to give you links to all the things. Also, if you are thinking about Design Suite, we highly recommend you come to a design boot camp. We do that on purpose. It's only $27 so that, first of all, you're not spending an awful lot of money to get a lot of information. And we try to give you a good amount of strategy, understanding, and sales in only 5 days. It's insane. So we do that on purpose because we want you to see that, first of all, we do over deliver. And second of all, we really just want people to understand the way to make money as a designer. So I highly recommend that. There is an affiliate link from Wendy in this podcast. Please click on it if you want to join a design boot camp and check that out. And then, of course, you can contact us once you're in the boot camp. We have ways of you contacting us to talk to someone about whether you're a good fit or not. Because once again, we have a really tight-knit community. We care about the people who come in. If you come in, we don't just know about your design life. Very often, we also know what's going on in your personal life. It's a crazy community in that way, because we think that design is just a piece of your overall life. So we like to make sure people are a great fit for our program, and make sure and check that out. And I just appreciate you guys being here. I hope that you enjoyed this interview with Wendy, and we will see you soon. Thanks. Bye. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.